Welcome into the speed build. If you're new around these parts, my name is Meg. I post my Sims 4 speed builds here on YouTube. I also stream over on Twitch and I am on TikTok and Instagram. All of my social links are down below in the description. If you're enjoying this content, I really hope you'd consider subscribing to me here on YouTube, which is free for you, and also going and checking out my other social links. This speed build is a recreation of a build I did over on my Twitch channel for my Rags to Riches Let's Play series with Tabitha. Originally I built in Henford on Bagley, but today I am building here in Newcrest on this 20 by 15 lot. I'm also trying to utilize the tiny home residential traits by keeping my build under 64 tiles. The max you can use for the tiny home traits is 100, but I'm trying to keep it under 64. For that Rags to Riches Let's Play with Tabitha, I built her an alleyway in Henford on Bagley using only live edit and debug items. She ended up living in a tent. That was a really exciting build process, and the Let's Play series was really fun to do. You can find that speed build here on my YouTube channel. Also, that build is available for download, as is this one and all my other speed builds on the gallery under my gallery ID, MisadventureMeg. If you managed to catch any of my other speed builds, you would have heard me say that roofing is one of my least favourite things to do here in The Sims 4, but when it's these gabled roofs and just angled pieces, it's kind of easier. I end up going in to make a greenhouse over on one of the sides here and making the roof a glass roof. This kind of helps when you are doing a Rags to Riches and you want to do gardening to make money. It just means that you can have your crops inside and they're not affected by the seasons if you have the seasons pack installed. As I mentioned, this is the house that I built on stream for my Rags to Riches Let's Play series, and because it's a Rags to Riches, it's nothing fancy. I've tried to make it as simple as possible. It's open plan, there is no separate bedroom or separate kitchen, it is just one big open space. There is a separate bathroom though, but I managed to make it 1 by 4 tiles, so it's tiny. It's just a shower and a toilet. Landscaping and gardening are probably my favourite things to do on Sims 4 builds. Also in real life I like to garden, so it kind of seems fitting that that would be my favourite part of builds. I have started using a little trick that I learned as well, using the base game Smooth Keeper fence to make sort of like a raised garden bed look. It does mean that the garden area is still functional as well. You can put the fence around the cottage living, I think they're called garden bed. Actually, that's probably not what they're called. I think it's garden patch maybe. You can put the fence around those patches as well, and it's still fully functional for Sims to use as a garden. Moving on to this back area, I have added a pond in this build as well so that Sims can go fishing in the pond for food. You will have to have your Sim discover their fish first from like a fishing spot inside the world. It is free though, you don't have to spend any money to do it, and then once you have discovered the fish, you can then use the pond in this lot to fish from, so it's a source of food for your Sim. I create ponds here in The Sims 4 using the terrain tool, and by flattening to height, I use Control and then the bracket keys to raise and lower the square to the desired height and depth of where I would like the pond to be, and then it creates a flat bottom for the pond so you can still put items on there. Then I go in with the smooth terrain tool and smooth the edges so that the Sim can actually walk into the pond, they can play in the water, and if it's deep enough and big enough, I also think they can collect water if they are living off-grid. I've also included a couple of things at the back here for skills for the Sim to use to make money, a candle making, is it candle making or flower arranging? One of the two, one of those stations, so they can make money out of that as well. Also 2 garden beds placed out here, and also an easel so the Sim can do painting if that's the way that they would like to make money. With that being said though, these are the only money making based skill items that I have placed here in this build, but feel free to add your own if there is another way that you would like your Sim to make money. Go for it, go hard, the world is your Sim's oyster. I've created a stepping stone path down the side of the house using the debug stepping stones that are in the debug live edit menu. To access that menu on PC, you will need to push Ctrl Shift C into the cheats Testingcheats space true, and then also the next cheat you will need is bb.showliveeditobjects, all one word. Also, you can use bb.showhiddenobjects will help as well, find you some things that you might not be able to see in your Sims menus, and then type in the search bar *** space DEBUG and then scroll through the menu to find the stepping stones. In the greenhouse space over here, I've lowered the floor down by 2 ticks. I don't think I've ever seen in real life a greenhouse on a foundation, so I have lowered the floor. If you want to just plant straight into the ground rather than in planters or boxes, you can go into build mode and delete the floor in this room so that you can plant straight into the ground. In the final walkthrough as well, you'll see that I don't actually use these square planters in the final walkthrough, just because when I play tested, they didn't actually work. You couldn't access the backside, so you could only plant 2 items in each box, so I got rid of them, scrapped them, made use of the round planters and also a couple of vertical planters. Also, here in the kitchen there is no sink. In this speed build video you will see that I place a sink in the bathroom. It doesn't end up working in playtesting, so what I end up doing is placing a sink out in the greenhouse space. It looks really industrial, looks like an outdoor sink as well, so it kind of fits in the aesthetic that you would have a sink outside in the green space to use to water the plants. But it does function for washing dishes, washing the Sims' hands, grabbing some water and brushing their teeth as well. In the bathroom space there is just a toilet and a shower. I have used the shower from Seasons, but the base game shower stalls do fit in there because they're only 1 tile large. They will fit perfectly in here if that's what you want to use instead. A few final pieces of decor and some plants to sort of spice the place up a little bit, and I ended up discovering a base game canvas wall painting that I didn't actually know existed, and I ended up putting 2 of them up on the wall side by side, and I really like the look that it's pulling off. If you're unsure of how I raised up these boxes to place on top of the fridge, all I've done is press Ctrl 9 on my keyboard to raise them up, and then I have pressed Alt while holding down on my mouse to place them freely. placing down the last couple of items, and then we'll go through the final walkthrough. In my Let's Play series, my sim ended up becoming pregnant and I had to add a room onto this build. I ended up adding it onto where the couch is there. I just squared off the edges there on the end of where the bathroom is. So there is definitely space for expansion if chaos ensues in your game and you need to extend this build. And that brings me to the end of this cute wee tiny speed build. Thank you so much if you have made it through this far on the speed build. I appreciate that. And like I said earlier, if you want to check me out on any other social platforms, all my social links are down in the description box. And I stream live over on Twitch, 7 PM New Zealand Standard Time on Tuesday, Thursday and Sunday. If you want to catch some of the chaos over there, please feel free to jump on over. Also, if you're liking this content, then please think about subscribing to my channel. It is free to you and it does help support me, and I appreciate every single one of you checking out this content. If you want to catch up, pop a comment down below. And like I said, this speed build is available on the gallery under my gallery ID, MisadventureMeg. Thank you so much for watching this speed build. Stay safe, stay healthy, and you'll hear from me in the next one.